70 dead. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is temporarily shutting down live poultry markets after bird flu was detected in New York City. The Eagles are celebrating their second Super Bowl win in franchise history. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Lakers Nation is hoping tonight is the night Luka Doncic makes his debut in a Lakers uniform. The Lakers are at home against Utah. Doncic has not played since Christmas Day when he suffered a strained calf muscle. Ricky Dalton-Connect and Cam Reddish are back with the Lakers after the NBA rescinded the Lakers trade with Charlotte. Charlotte center Mark Williams failed the Lakers physical. The UCLA women's basketball team is 23-0 after their 62-52 win Sunday at Oregon. Guard London Jones led UCLA with 21 points. Next up for the Bruins, ranked number 1 in the country, a Thursday night showdown at number 7 USC. The Philadelphia Eagles made sure the NFL does not have a three-peat Super Bowl champion. Philadelphia put a beatdown on the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday in the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes was sacked 5 times. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you neighbor to neighbor, bringing you resources and what you need to know. For information on fire recovery resources, recovery hubs, and available services, call 211 for the City of Los Angeles and 311 county-wide. Aid distribution locations, repopulation updates, and safety rules are constantly changing. Visit the LA City and LA County websites for the latest. If you'd like to sign up for the county's free debris removal, fill out a right of entry form, or get a list of disaster recovery centers that are still active, please visit recovery.lacounty.gov or call the debris hotline at 844-347-3332. If you're vulnerable to mudslides with rain in the forecast, free sandbags are being offered. Go to lacounty.pw/sandbags to find out where to get them. Businesses who have lost their facilities due to the fires can use a regional online source to get free or discounted locations. Whether you're interested in donating or finding space, you can visit the business-to-business Space Share portal at spaceshare.lacounty.gov. Additional LA County small business support and programs can be found at opportunity.lacounty.gov. Praying, advocating, and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
Live from historic Leimert Park in Los Angeles, California, I'm Tavis Smiley, and I'm so glad to see you and me back in stride again. Before we get started with today's show, let me invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Real Tavis Smiley, and get updates on X, that's formerly Twitter, at Tavis Smiley. By the way, should you miss any part of today's program or want to catch up on previous shows, you can always visit thetavisSmileyShow.com. That's thetavisSmileyShow.com, or wherever you get your podcast, and listen to the Tavis Smiley podcast version of this live program at your leisure. Another great show on tap for you today. In our second hour, 2 conversations, Up first, Dr. Somavar Saha, the CEO and president of Wellbeing and Equity, joins us for a chat about a new health equity initiative called Justice Squared, aimed at abolishing structural racism in the healthcare industry. On the B side of Hour 2. It's Billboard charting gospel artist and author Tony Evans, who drops by to talk about his new project, Revive. That track is called All I Need. Gospel artist Tony Evans on the backside of Hour 2. In our third hour, a conversation with former FBI agent and current fellow at the Brennan Center's Liberty and National Security Program, Mike German. His new text is Policing White Supremacy, the Enemy Within. Should be a compelling conversation with Mike German in our final hour today. But in this first hour, let's talk politics with our regular contributor, noted economist, columnist, author, president emerita at Bennett College for Women, and founder of the nonprofit Economic Education, Dr. Julianne Malveaux. Malveaux, I figured with all that love I just gave you, you might behave yourself this hour. Any chance of that?
Don't put any money on it.
I won't. It's good to hear your voice. It's glad to have you on. Let me make the most of the time that we have in this hour. I start with this. I'm laughing now, but this is clearly no laughing matter. I think the audio speaks for itself. But on Friday, a handful of Democratic lawmakers were denied entry to the Department of Education. But just listen. You'll hear the voice of Maxine Waters and others. You know Maxine's voice when you hear it, of course. But just listen to the audio, some audio, what happened outside the door Friday of the Department of Education.
We're coming in. We're coming in. We're coming in. Don't lock the door. We're coming in. Who are you?
You're not coming in.
Who are you?
Who under whose
Who are
orders?
you? Who are you?
Who are you, sir?
Do you have business here?
Yes. I have sent the assistant secretary a letter alerting her that we would be here today, and we've asked her for a meeting.
Yeah, I don't know that that's been accepted, so until that's accepted.
Who are you?
Can you see this?
And what do you do here?
What do you do here?
Security responsibility.
Get out of the way. We pay you. We pay for your job. We pay you.
Please stand aside, sir.
I'm not standing aside.
Why not?
Because my role is to make sure that...
What authority do you have to block members of Congress from the oversight? We don't have oversight responsibilities. By what authority can you deny members of Congress their oversight role?
You don't have a business reason to be here.
You do not have authority, sir. You do not have authority.
This man here, who is a federal employee, he told us.
No, he's not.
Are you a federal employee?
No.
Huh?
Yes.
No, he said he's a federal employee. We pay him. We raise money to make sure that we have a Department of Education. Everybody that's hired at the Department of Education are here because we pay for them to be here. He's standing here today, blocking the door, and he can't give us a good reason why he's blocking this door.
Make sure they see right here.
That is audio from Friday. You heard Maxine Waters, get out the way. Move, B, get out the way. That was the voice again of Auntie Maxine demanding that this security guard get out of the way. It is a striking display of the limits being placed on congressional authority these days. The first few weeks of this administration, that Democratic lawmakers are blocked from entering a building over which they have oversight. And it's as if those persons in charge of oversight are begging to be allowed into the building. And they were, in fact, denied access. Something is wrong when those in charge of oversight are standing outside the door, knocking, begging to be let in. I'm going to let Malveaux loose when we come forward. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
From California to the Carolinas, everybody's listening to Tavis. More when we come forward.
This is an ad by BetterHelp Online Therapy. When it comes to relationships, we often hear about the red flags we should avoid, but it's just as important to focus on the green flags. Think about how you want a relationship to feel, one where your boundaries are respected and you're encouraged to be your best self. If you're not sure what that looks like, therapy can help you identify those qualities so you can embody the green flag energy yourself and find it in others. Because whether you're dating, married, or building a friendship, it's time to form relationships that love you back. BetterHelp connects you to a diverse network of over 30,000 therapists worldwide with expertise in a wide range of issues, from depression and anxiety to work and relationships. It's 100% online and sign-up only takes a few minutes. Find your green flag energy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/ABC Radio today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ABC Radio.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Dr. Julianne Malveaux spending this first hour talking about politics, and there's a great deal to talk about. We'll get to that audio that I played a moment ago of these Democratic lawmakers being denied entry into the Department of Education, that is, on Friday. Yesterday, Donald Trump, in his pre-Super Bowl interview with Fox News, Brett Baer specifically, said that Palestinians displaced under his proposal to turn Gaza into the Riviera of the Middle East, those Palestinians who displaced will not be allowed to return, said Donald Trump yesterday. He's not just doubling down now, but tripling down on this nonsense. And he has announced blanket tariffs on steel, aluminum, that is, reciprocal tariffs on other countries. He said that he wants the Treasury Department to stop minting pennies. It's good that Dr. Malveaux is an economist, so I'll get to some of those economic issues a little bit later in this conversation. And before I go any further, let me just say congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm looking at Miles Lowe, my board op, who got his Philadelphia hat on, his jersey, Philadelphia shoes, pants. He just literally draws all his stuff today. his Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm going to let Miles in the last five.
How you know what kind of drawers that man have on?
You know these kids, they wear their pants hanging down. You can see their drawers. You know how that is. So Miles, I'm going to give Miles the last 5 minutes of this hour before I go to hour two. I'll let Miles get on the mic and just brag about his Eagles for the last 5 minutes. And by the way, you should know, those who can't see me, I'm wearing green today. I got a green sweater on, just celebrating the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm not stupid. We're heard on WURD right now in Philadelphia, so I better give the Eagles some love, given that I'm heard on the air in Philadelphia right about now. I digress on all that. We'll do a Super Bowl talk with Miles the last 5 minutes of this hour. Let him, again, brag about, beat his chest about his Eagles and the beatdown they gave the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday. All that said, Malveaux, you heard that audio of Maxine Waters and others outside the Department of Education, and I've got my own thought about that, but I don't want to get in front of you. Tell me what you heard when you heard that audio, what you make of them knocking on the door, begging to be let in.
We have an imperial president. He's claimed all kind of powers that the Constitution does not give him. To have members of Congress being denied entry is absurd. I wish Maxine had called me, because I'd have gone down there with her, and I might have had to put my foot through the door. This is just, every day there's something, Tavis. And what we have to do, we have to just drill down and be focused, because of all these distractions. I mean, basically, who cares about pennies? And why is the president of the United States making edicts about pennies?
Mm-hmm.
There's and then this pie in the sky crap he's talking about, Palestinians won't be allowed to go back. If you want to inflame things in the Middle East, keep saying stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep saying that kind of thing. But they're trying to get rid of the Department of Education. Congress does appropriate money to the Department of Education. The 1974 Congressional Budget and Impoundment Act does not allow the president to impound money that has already been appropriated.
Mm-hmm.
But this president he's pushing people to court. Attorneys general in, I think, 24 states are suing regarding the federal funding freeze, which would cut out programs, Head Start, all kind of programs that are funded through the feds. He's doing what he said he was going to do. So anybody, there's a tweet thing, not a tweet, whatever. Some girl was a Latina lady crying, talking about she voted for Trump, and she didn't know that it meant that her cousin was going to get deported.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read the fine print, lady?
Mm-hmm.
Just read the fine print. We just have to be focused. That's the only thing, is be focused, because there's so much going on. People don't know. Federal employees don't know, whether they have jobs or not. The folks at Consumer Finance Protection Bureau were told their building is closed this week. Okay, so their building is closed. They took the letters off the USAID building. It's just pandemonium. But again, we've been here, done that, got the T-shirt before.
Yep.
The brother that I'm lifting up this Black History Month and in the middle of this drama is Daniel Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Murray was the assistant librarian of Congress until Woodrow Wilson became president. And then he fired all the any black person at a senior position. There were only about 10 of them. They all were demoted or fired. And they prevailed. They had to. Daniel Murray was an amazing man. In fact, there's a Murray collection at the Library of Congress. What he was doing is collecting pamphlets, little broadsides. That's how a lot of times we communicated. And so the collection is amazing. It's got a lot of speeches. Got some Booker T. Washington speeches. The Library of Congress is kind of my second home. I love that place. But the Murray collection is it's amazing. And he continued to do his work. He was demoted, but he continued to do his work. And folks just Wikipedia him or something, Google him. Amazing brother who basically was committed to our history.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question that my pastor asked yesterday in church is, and I do go to church, Tavis.
I'm glad to hear that, yeah.
But he asked, how did they do it? Because everybody's agonizing. How did they do it?
Mm-hmm.
How did our foremothers and fathers get through what they had to get through? And we ain't no ways tired. But the 47th president, they talked about Joe Biden and his cognition. We see where there is a lack of cognition.
Yep.
We know where there's a lack of cognition. But you've got these Republican members of Congress who won't do their job. They're afraid of it. They're afraid, and so they won't stand up. And that's therein lies the problem. This man has such reach that everybody is frightened. But again, nobody's going to shut Maxine Waters down. So I'm glad you have that audio.
No, nobody's going to shut Maxine down per se. But let me tell you what I saw. With all due respect to Maxine, who I love dearly. But when I saw the audio, when I saw the video, we played the audio because it's radio, of course. But when I saw the video, it's online. You can find it yourself to actually see it, if you care to do so. But when I saw that audio, I'm not going to lie, Malvo, it felt so feckless to me. Feckless in the sense that these are members of Congress who do, in fact, have oversight over the Department of Education, all these departments for that matter. And here they are standing outside the door, again, begging this security guard to sort of let them in. And to me, it looked like, this is just me, a metaphor, frankly, for the fight that Democrats are engaged in right now to hold Donald Trump and this administration accountable. The resistance has to be there, but that knocking at the door, talking to a security guard, arguing with him about not letting them in when they are in control, allegedly, just again look metaphorical to me for this for the frame that the Democrats are in right now. I appreciate Maxine and others going there to draw attention to the imperial presidency that we are witnessing in real time. But there was something that was really bizarre to me about watching them begging for access. And again, it just mirrored to me the situation that I see metaphorically the Democrats standing in right now. That's my read of it.
Well, I mean, I think they're both, there are many ways. This is like a Rubik's Cube, Tavis. There are many ways we can look at this thing. But I think I stand by my point. I'm glad they went. But I also hear your point and think it does. Here's the problem with Democrats right now, in my opinion.
Right.
There has been no strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Folks are just popping off here, popping off there, doing this, doing that. Where is the strategy? What are we going to do? You know, we shouldn't sit around and let the orange man roll over us. We shouldn't do that, certainly. Mm-hmm. But what can we do that's effective? And I'm not sure that, while I think that going down there is great theater, and I think they made a very important point, mm-hmm. I think the other piece is that, and now what, y'all? And now what? So you went down there.
Exactly.
You created, so now what's next? There are many organizations, and as I said, 24 attorneys general are suing this administration for any number of illegal acts. But where's the plan? Now, I'm not in with the in crowd, so I'm not on the DNC, so I don't know what they're talking about. But this new fellow they chose, meh.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So it just seems that Democrats are content to tread water, and while they tread water, Republicans are the speedboat running over us.
Yeah.
Running over us,
No, I'm with you. I've said the same thing last week. Nothing against Ken Martin. I've invited him on this program. He's going to come on in the days ahead, and we'll talk to the new chair of the DNC, who is essentially the titular head of the party now. One could argue Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker may be seen more than Ken Martin is seen as the head of the party right now. But I'm with you, Malvo. I don't understand what the plan is, and I have great respect for Maxine Waters, and I love the fact that they drew attention to this. I still believe that in 2025 that protest has its place, but beyond the protest, what is the plan? And I just, again, don't see a plan laid out. And Malvo's right. People are popping off here, popping off there. And I guess if that's the best you can do, that's the best you can do. But again, when I saw that video, it just kind of turned my stomach, because it just sets into place this imagery. And that's the world we live in right now. Everything is imagery, right? It sets in place this imagery that Democrats are on the outside begging somebody to let them in. They have no control. They have no authority. They have no agency. So they're just standing there arguing with a security guard. I didn't like the look of it, but again, I digress in that regard. I'm not so sure that Ken Martin is the answer to the prayer, but I know one thing, Malvo. If Democrats don't figure something out between now and the midterms, it's going to go from bad to worse.
Oh, exactly. No, we've got to. Democrats have got to do better. They've got to be more focused. They've got to have local strategies. There are local elections coming up in a number of places. You got 3 members of Congress who are Republicans who have Trump appointments, and so have we geared up? Now they're Republican districts, but certainly they're at least one of them we can snatch. And we have to think of ways to erode that Republican stronghold. And again, I just don't see what Democrats are doing. Like I said, I'm not on the DNC. I'm not, some of these folks are in these closed door meetings, but you need to let some allies know what's going on, because people are, for older people, like I said, we've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. We lived through Reagan and all kinds of other stuff. I remember my Reagan joke. I used to say, "What do the White House and the McDonald's have in common?"
What's that?
They both have a clown named Ronald.
But I'm pumped. It still works. It still works. It still works. Let me ask you a couple economic questions. You don't talk to a brilliant economist like Malvo without asking some money questions. And trust me, when we come forward, I want to get into what Trump said in this interview yesterday, just before the Super Bowl, about these Palestinians being displaced and not being allowed to return. That's insane, but we'll talk about that in a few moments, I promise. Economically, though, we keep hearing, and that's why I love talking to you, because you can break this stuff down in ways that we understand. We keep hearing the other T word. One is Trump. The other T word is tariffs. Tariffs. What do these tariffs mean? Yeah. How do they impact us and our wallet? Talk to me about what we should understand about all this tariff talk, because for some of us, it's above our head.
Tariffs are basically they're taxes. When goods are manufactured in another country and they're imported into the United States, we can levy tariffs on them. The Orange Man says 25% for Mexico and Canada. That's crazy. Mexico and Canada are largest trading partners. And you say Canada, what they started doing is taking U.S. liquor off their shelves. But part of the reason for the tariffs, theoretically, is if, let's say that you're manufacturing washing machines here in the United States and they're manufacturing them in China. The Chinese ones, because their labor costs are lower, are likely to be cheaper. Mm-hmm. The tariff takes away some of the advantage that China gets from having the cheaper labor costs. So that's the theoretical reason you have tariffs. But they're also designed to penalize trading partners. Mm-hmm. So let's say the washing machine in the U.S. was, I don't know what washing machines cost, but let's say it was $500, and the one coming from China costs $400. Mm-hmm. So you've got like a difference. So the one from China, if it was just brought in, will be cheaper than the one from the U.S. And if you don't care, buy U.S., you buy the cheaper one. So you add the tariff, which takes away some of the advantage of the cheaper item. But anyway, what that also means, though, is when a cheaper item comes to the United States, 25% tariff, the manufacturer is going to add that to the cost here. Mm. So it's the advantage of having had a cheaper item coming from China is somewhat ameliorated by the tariff. Mm-hmm. So and theoretically also raise money on it. But what we're seeing right now is the basis of trade wars. People say, okay, you're going to tariff me, I'll tariff you too. Mm-hmm. So that means for the consumer, prices just go up. So you have somebody who ran for office on the grounds that they were going to make prices go down. And instead they've engaged in inflationary behavior. Tariffs are inflationary. In addition, deportations are inflationary because the folks that you're deporting work for cheaper wages than the folks in the United States. Prices are going to go up. Mm-hmm. You do not see white Americans or black Americans lining up to pick lettuce. Mm-hmm. So who's going to pick the lettuce? So basically, prices will go up. But the tariff thing is Trump loves tariffs. He talked about them in his first term. Many are much more cautious. Many economists are much more cautious. We understand why you have them. We do want American manufacturers at some level to get some advantage, but the tariff essentially hits the American consumer. Some manufacturers, Tavis, will try to absorb the cost. Right. So in my washing machine example, if the $400 washing machine now costs $450 because there's a tariff. Some folks will say, no, we're going to leave it at $400. We'll eat the cost. Yeah. But they can't do that. They can't do that indefinitely.
No, they can't do it indefinitely, and they can't do it on every single item, because if they do, they end up out of business, right? So I take your point that these tariffs and this tariff war, given that this tariff war that Donald Trump started, in fact, ultimately lands where it always lands, on the backs or in the pocketbooks, the wallets of consumers. Always appreciate Malvo breaking that down for us. When we come forward, we'll talk about what Donald Trump said yesterday in his pregame interview on Fox about these Palestinians being displaced and not being allowed to return. You're listening to Dr. Julianne Malvo on Tavis Smiley.
This is getting good. Yeah, man. Tavis Smiley continues when we come forward.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with 4 things you should know from BIN News. A teen is dead and 6 other people are wounded after a shooting at a mansion party in LA's Woodland Hills neighborhood early Sunday morning. Leaked government documents say large-scale immigration enforcement is coming to Los Angeles. While immigration enforcement has been ramped up across the country, no sweeping action has been taken in Los Angeles yet. Jalen Hurts is taking home Super Bowl 59 MVP honors. The Eagles quarterback completed 17 of 22 passes for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The Eagles blew out the Chiefs 40-22. Kendrick Lamar brought out SZA during his halftime show performance and took some more jabs at Drake during Super Bowl 59. He also served up his smash hit Not Like Us, changing a few of the lyrics and welcoming Drake's ex, Serena Williams, on stage. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Lakers Nation is hoping tonight is the night Luka Doncic makes his debut in a Lakers uniform. The Lakers are at home against Utah. Doncic has not played since Christmas Day when he suffered a strained calf muscle. Ricky Dalton-Connect and Cam Reddish are back with the Lakers after the NBA rescinded the Lakers trade with Charlotte. Charlotte center Mark Williams failed the Lakers physical. The UCLA women's basketball team is 23-0 after their 62-52 win Sunday at Oregon. Guard London Jones led UCLA with 21 points. Next up for the Bruins, ranked number 1 in the country, a Thursday night showdown at number 7 USC. The Philadelphia Eagles made sure the NFL does not have a 3-piece Super Bowl champion. Philadelphia put a beatdown on the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday in the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes was sacked 5 times. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Are you a recent college graduate with a dream of getting a high-paying job in sales? A job where you can grow a lucrative career in multi-platform audio, digital, podcast, social media, and local events, along with world-class training and career growth opportunities. KBLA Talk 1580, located in historic Leimert Park, is currently hiring entry-level account executives for outside sales. Join a team featuring radio hosts Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornell West, Jesse Jackson Jr., D.L. Hughley, Dr. Nee Cordelai Corte, Zoe Williams, and our very own Dominique DePrima. For more information on attending our upcoming career fair, contact SMB at KBLA1580.com today. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cow Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Made fresh daily in Leimert Park, Los Angeles, California. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Dr. Julianne Malveaux. Malveaux, before I pivot and we talk about Palestine here for a second, I raised this earlier, and you commented on it briefly, but I want to just go back to it right quick to make sure I understand what this is about, because I don't frankly get it. So Donald Trump has ordered the Treasury Secretary to stop minting pennies. What is that about? I heard you comment earlier. Why is the president involved in even making decisions about whether we print pennies or not? But what's behind that? I mean, Donald Trump is, can be stuck on stupid at times, but I assume that there is some logic behind why he wants that. I just don't understand what that's about.
Well, it costs about 5 cents to produce a penny.
Okay.
So that's basically what it's about. It's not a big deal, and most people don't even use pennies. A lot of places, the thing is $12.51, and they'll just give you change for 50. That not asking you for the penny.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's not a bad. I mean, it's not. It's just like I said, it's not that big of a deal, except for the fact that the Orange Man makes everything a big deal.
Yeah, but if it cost us 5 cents to print. To mint, rather, not print. If it costs us 5 cents to mint a penny, why do we do it?
Just tradition.
Yeah.
Basically, just tradition. And, you got little old ladies and folks who collect pennies and children who collect pennies and stuff like that. But, this may be the only thing in life that I would not have a great objection to the Orange Man doing. It's just not that big of a deal.
Yeah. It may not be that big of a deal, but let me you accuse the Orange Man of making everything, as you call him, the Orange Man, making everything a big deal. Let me make it into a bigger deal. It may not be a big deal, but let me make it a little bigger than what it is. Because this takes me into a conversation briefly I want to have with you about this Department of Government Efficiency that Elon Musk is supposed to be running. This is the kind of stuff that they say in theory that they're looking for. Wasteful spending in government. We might not like the way Elon Musk is going about it. We might not even like Elon Musk. Nobody says you have to. And this may just be an outlier, because even Malveaux isn't outraged by this. If Donald Trump and the Treasury Department stop minting pennies, I think you can tell by Malveaux, she wouldn't be bothered by it. Not that big a deal. It costs 5 cents to print 1 cent. So maybe this is something on the docket of making our government more efficient that we won't argue about or haggle with. But broadly speaking, what do you make of the way they're going about trying to make Elon Musk, et cetera, and company rather, going about trying to make our government more efficient, they tell us?
It's a very inefficient way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk essentially purchased himself a co-presidency.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what he is. Orange Man hasn't called him on anything. He does whatever he wants to. He's got these teenagers, and I'm not mad at teenagers. We were all teenagers once. But these children basically going through people's confidential records and stuff like that. That's not right. So the fact, nobody would say that government is at peak efficiency. Everybody has government inefficiency stories.
Sure.
Looking at inefficiency is not a bad idea. The way they've done it is awful. The disrespect to the way that they talk about government workers, is absurd. Everybody is lazy. No, everybody is not lazy. You have a few lazy people here and there, but by and large, government workers work very hard. not only do they work very hard, they're underpaid. They probably make 20 to 30% less than they would make in the private sector. Many of them do the work because they believe in it. We all have acquaintances, friends. I have a dear friend, I can't call her name, but you know her, who works for USAID, a brilliant sister who, could be cleaning up anyplace else. She works for USAID helping developing countries develop pension systems. She works extraordinarily hard.
Yeah.
But what happens to morale when your bosses are running around calling you lazy and, the morale is going to be down, and we're losing really good people who work for government.
So I'm glad you went there. So economically speaking, again, Mavo's an economist, a brilliant economist, as you know. What should our read be of all these buyouts? On the one hand, there are people that have had enough of this. They don't want to deal with it. They're just taking the buyout and they're leaving. But we're also losing a lot of people ultimately out of government. That's what Trump and them want. But economically speaking, and for that matter, not even just economically speaking, but in terms of efficiency, so there are two E words, economy and efficiency. How are you reading Trump offering all these people these buyouts, trying to force them out?
Well, first of all, Congress has to appropriate the money to provide the money for the buyouts, and they haven't done that yet.
Right.
So as Governor Wes Moore of Maryland and Senator Angela Brooks, also in Maryland, you have a heavy concentration of government workers in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and they're telling people, I don't know if you want to sign that.
Yeah.
60,000 people have accepted or theoretically accepted the buyout. Some of them have been told, no, you can't get a buyout because you work for the IRS and it's getting ready to be tax time.
Mm-hmm.
So all the fine print has not been looked at here. So today, I guess we're going to get a decision from a judge who said, pause this stuff. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. We're losing people who've been, decades-long government employees who have a body of knowledge that it can't be replicated. Anybody else is going to have to start at the ground floor, and that's going to be challenging. And it is woefully inefficient. But this is not about, although this is of the government, whatever this department that Elon Musk has, this is not about efficiency. This is about upending government as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
This is about creating chaos. And so the chaos that we create is going to trickle down to the American people in so many ways, Tavis, in so many ways. So, but this is what the Orange Man said he was going to do.
Yeah.
He said he was going to do it. So anybody who, like I said, this little Latina lady, I guess this was a Twitter that someone sent me, crying about she didn't know when she voted for Trump that her cousin was going to get deported. That's called an FAFO moment.
Yeah. No, I got it. I hear you.
And there are many other things.
Yeah. Let me ask you whether or not, and I'm not naive in asking this, but let me just ask anyway, whether or not you think there's any way that this moment where we see Elon Musk and others intending, so they say, to make our government more efficient, whether or not this could possibly lead us into a meaningful conversation about the role of government in real time, the proper role of government.
Oh, I think that anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
I do, but I think you have on the Democratic side. Basically, people have talked about efficiency and the role of government, but at the same time, the role of government has often expanded.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the purpose? Why does government expand? Because part of it is wanting to provide the same things to everybody, the same kind of access to everybody. And that was the whole conversation about diversity, conversations about the Department of Education,
mm-hmm.
where you look at some school districts in the same state. If you're in a wealthy district, you got state of the art. If you're in a poorer district, I remember years ago we found that in some of the wealthier districts they had a computer for every child, and in some of the more challenged districts you had 7 young people to a computer. And I don't know, these are numbers that came from about 2000, so I haven't kept up with them. But I'm not surprised if that doesn't change. So while you have a conversation about the role of government, where you're going to get dissension and challenge is the fact that some people don't believe that everybody deserves a fair chance.
Yeah. Nope.
They would just believe just go sink or swim on your own.
Yeah. No, that mindset has taken hold clearly in our country right about now. Everybody's on his or her own. I digress. Our remaining moments with Dr. Malveaux when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Generous listening. Charitable listening. It's why everybody wants to talk to Tavis. The conversation continues when we come forward.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
You've lost so much weight. How'd you do it?
I got medical treatment for weight loss through Zelty and lost 50 pounds. I struggled for the longest time, but Zelty makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelty providers can prescribe FDA-approved weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight, like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others.
I've heard those medications can help you lose weight, but aren't they expensive?
Zelty can help get the medication covered by insurance, so it's as little as $0 a month.
What if you don't have insurance?
No problem. Zelty may be able to help you get other GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% off the price of name brand medications.
I'm ready to start losing weight. How do I get started with Zelty?
Just text.
Text SUNNY to 200-300 to get started today with Zelty and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy and Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text SUNNY to 200-300. That's SUNNY to 200-300. SUNNY to 200-300.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Let's get back to more of this rich dialogue with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Dr. Julianne Malveaux. Before I lose you, Dr. Malveaux, a final word on this news that broke yesterday when Donald Trump sat for his pre-big game interview with Fox News, a ritual. Presidents do it every year just for the big game. There's always an interview. And Trump made news, as he always does, yesterday when he said that Palestinians displaced under his proposal to take over the Gaza Strip and make it the Riviera of the Middle East, that Palestinians displaced in that process would not be allowed to return. The UN has now spoken and said any forced displacement of people is tantamount to ethnic cleansing. So even the UN now has stepped up and referred to what Donald Trump intends to do or says he wants to do as ethnic cleansing. Last word to you, Dr. Malveaux.
Are we surprised?
Yeah.
The Orange Man is a realtor, among other things, but his real estate was his forte. That's how he got his foot in the door. And as a realtor, what he's attempting to do, frankly, is to disrupt, just as he's doing in the United States, disrupt the Middle East. If he had any sense at all, he would talk about a two-state solution. Palestinians are not going to be wiped away from their homelands. They're just not going to do it. So while people keep talking about peace in the Middle East, you're not going to get peace by talking that kind of nonsense. And I don't think that he enjoys attention. He enjoys controversy. He does not enjoy rationality nor good sense. And so none of us are surprised by the horrible sentiments that he's expressed. But again, 51% of American people voted for this man. 53% even now support him. They're just a CBS poll that says the majority of America support what he's done heretofore. I guess none of them work for the federal government. There are 2 million, Tavis, 2 million people who work for the federal government. Is that too many? Maybe.
Yeah.
But let's not do a dump. Let's do something surgical.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Here's my exit question. I know you got to run. I got 60 seconds here left. When you see a poll like CBS's that finds that 53%, a majority of Americans are okay with what he's done so far, how do you read that?
They don't. The majority of Americans don't like business as usual.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Everybody has had, as I said, everyone has a story of government inefficiency.
Yeah.
Nobody likes paying taxes. No one sees what the ROI in taxes is. Democrats, in particular, have not made a strong case for why we should be in charge. We just haven't done it. I love Kamala. We hope she would be president, but she isn't. And one of the things I would have to say is how down here on the ground, who was digging her message? When I went through her economic plan, which I thought had many good points,
mm-hmm.
it appeared to me that it really focused more on the middle class and not the working class.
Yeah.
Help you get your house, forgive your student loans. Good stuff, but what about the other stuff?
Yeah.
So I think that basically Democrats, we have missed the mark, and we've missed it consistently.
Yeah. It is scary, though, when you see polls that suggest that still, even after all this drama the last few weeks, still 53% of us apparently are not bothered as yet by what he has said or done. You wonder when he'll cross the line, the red line, as it were, for fellow citizens when he will have just gone too far. But apparently we ain't there yet. I digress. Professor, author, President Emeritus, Bennett College, founder of the nonprofit Economic Education, Dr. Julianne Malveaux, noted economist. Good to have you on. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Tavis.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
Why does Tavis say when we come forward? Because he's not going back. And you don't have to go back either. Forward ever, backward never. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found BenefitsCheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. BenefitsCheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada. Member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
It's KBLA Talk 1580's third annual Black History Month luncheon, and you're invited. This is year 2 of our climate justice work, and this year's $2 million 12-month campaign is all about linking and combating the relationship between climate and Black health. We already know that these wildfires will leave in their wake even greater inequities, including negative impacts on Black health, given the toxic air pollutants circulating in the air we breathe. So, as part of this year's climate campaign, we're honoring Black doctors and leaders in healthcare at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Friday, February 28th at noon. If you would like to join us, just go to our KBLA 1580 website and register for your chance to be our guest at the luncheon. We'd love to see you. And in case you haven't heard the news, KBLA Talk 1580 was just named one of the semifinalists for the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down. Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
All right. Before I get to hour 2 and continue today's program, let me just pause for a second because I can't avoid it anyway because he's staring me in my face. For those who've never been in our studios, I'm sitting in one studio and Miles is sitting in another studio, but there's a big glass between us. And so we are forced to look at each other every day for 3 hours, whether we want to or not.
You look good, by the way.
Yeah, you look good, by the way, too.
Yes, sir.
In all of your Eagles gear. All right, so tell me what you made of the game yesterday. I want to give Miles and all the Eagles fans their moment. So here's my 5 minutes, or actually 3.5, Miles. What'd you see yesterday?
Man, look, I saw a young team, a young, hungry team, a team that is built to last, a team that's going to be back, and they dominated the game in the most football way, with the defensive line dominating, with the offensive line dominating, with good coaching, good play calling, no extras, and went out there and beat a juggernaut of a team. So shout out to them for getting that dub. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar for giving us a crazy halftime show to celebrate with, remember this by. But man, I loved it, every second of it.
Okay, so be honest. Tell me you did not see that beat down coming. I know you wanted your team to win. I know you thought your team was going to win, but I don't think anybody saw. And Philly's got a ferocious defense, no question about it. That defense is ferocious, and yet I don't think anybody, and even Miles has to, you're going to have to admit to me, you didn't see that kind of beatdown coming.
No. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Yeah.
It's a you can't call these type of things. That was one of the greatest quarterbacks, even into the fourth quarter. I'm not going to lie. I was still like, you know what, boys, let's finish the game. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's lock in and make sure we secure this win, because that is an all-time GOAT we going up against. So, no, nobody saw that coming at all.
Yeah, what did you make? I mean, when you saw, none of us have for that matter, we've never seen Patrick Mahomes look as human as he looked yesterday. 5 sacks.
Yeah.
That defense was on point yesterday.
Yeah, and I think that's what it was. I don't hold it against Patrick Mahomes because our defense has been doing that all year. So I'm not surprised Patrick Mahomes looks like that. His offensive line hasn't been showing up for him this year like they have been in the past. So, I mean, it makes sense. If any way it was going to happen, I'm glad it happened like that, and it wasn't a shootout, but I'm not surprised, man. So, no, Mahomes will be back. I promise you that.
I love Jalen, but you will admit that it was the defense that won the game for y'all yesterday, not your offense.
Oh, for sure. The defense kept Mahomes on the sideline. They got him out there off the field on third downs and gave more possessions and time to Jalen Hurts and the offense. But on top of that, too, their defense shut down Saquon Barkley a lot of the game. So It was good to see Jalen Hurts step up and still do what he had to do as a quarterback and lead the team to victory. So,
I'll close on this note. I was so happy for Jalen Hurts yesterday for one reason, and he handled it brilliantly as he always does after the game in his post-game interview. He didn't call any names.
Yep.
But you know what I was thinking yesterday? Take that, Nick Saban.
Right.
I was thinking, take that, Nick Saban. For those who don't know this backstory very quickly, Jalen was at Alabama with the great Nick Saban. He got benched for a guy named Tua Tagovailoa, who was in Miami, who I must say, unless something magical happens, he ain't never going to win a Super Bowl.
Nah.
I don't see it happening. He's concussed too much. First of all, he's always concussed. I ain't mad at him. That's just physicality, right? But Jalen got benched. He leaves and goes where to Oklahoma. And next thing you know, he's Super Bowl champion.
Super Bowl champ 2 times. Popped up 2 times, got this victory this time. Also, want to give a big shout out to Jalen Hurts and his all-black, woman-led management team holding it down, man. Got him that richest contract in history a couple years ago, and now he's a Super Bowl champion. Shout out to Jay Hurts.
No, we all love these moments when you can say, I told you so. And with all due respect to Nick Saban, great coach, he was wrong about Jalen Hurts. All right, Miles, you happy now? You got your moment now? You feel better now?
Shout out to our affiliates, baby. We got it.
WRD, that's for y'all. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with 4 things you should know from BIN News. A teen is dead and 6 other people are wounded after a shooting at a mansion party in LA's Woodland Hills neighborhood early Sunday morning. Leaked government documents say large-scale immigration enforcement is coming to Los Angeles. While immigration enforcement has been ramped up across the country, no sweeping action has been taken in Los Angeles yet. Jalen Hurts is taking home Super Bowl 59 MVP honors. The Eagles quarterback completed 17 of 22 passes for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The Eagles blew out the Chiefs 40-22. Kendrick Lamar brought out SZA during his halftime show performance and took some more jabs at Drake during Super Bowl 59. He also stirred up his smash hit Not Like Us, changing a few of the lyrics and welcoming Drake's ex, Serena Williams, on stage. Get